Welcome everyone to our pre-full moon garden visualization, December 2025. As we are Welcome everyone to our pre-full moon garden visualization in Sagittarius, December 2025. The full moon is only a few hours away, so let's visualize all of us surrounding hierarchy on the periphery of all the ashrams gathered around the planetary logos Sanat Kumar in deep meditation. But before we do, let's recap why a healing garden. DK tells us, or gave the advice to CDP, to create a garden of beauty, and he taught her to perfect it and then to use it. And he also taught her how to dedicate it and turn it into a shrine of consecration, and to connect it in her mind with a thought of service. And he told her that that which is thus created and used exists, and that today, meaning at the time when he was writing to CDP, that on the inner planes her garden was of service to his group of disciples and to others in larger numbers than she thought. It was a place of gathering for many and a place of refuge for a few. And he asked her to enter her tower and climb to the summit, and then release the light which is in her. And that will be to the garden of her soul what the sun is to the gardens of the world. And he asked her to watch the rays of light pouring out over the garden, awakening it to color and beauty, arousing it to movement and life, and calling forth the songs of the birds and the hum of the bees, and to evoke it to a responsive loveliness. And there he promised, I will meet you where the clouds of glamour roll away, and to ponder on the symbolism hidden in this garden, and to work steadily for a few months from this center of love and light. So we'll apply DK's instructions to CDP to our group. So therefore, let's continue to build our healing garden as a group before the full moon. Meeting DK there as he promised, and turning our garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. So let's gather in our garden. But before we do, let's align as a group. So So let's raise our consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. Then carry that consciousness upward through the astral body and the mental body, then to the soul. Then we visualize a lotus, fully open, scintillating with light, as a symbol of our soul body. And now place yourself right at the center of our group lotus, realizing that we, the personality, and we, the soul, are now one. And from that point, definitely and consciously, assume the attitude of the observer. Let's observe our personalities below and visualize our group etheric body, seeing energy flowing freely up and down the etheric spine. Then consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine using indigo blue light if you're not aware of the color of your soul ray. And now, in your imagination, raise that light slowly via the 5 centers, up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, then up into the soul body, our group soul. Then let us say together, we are the soul. We are light divine. We are will. We are love. And we are fixed design. And let us sound the soul, the Om, as if we were the soul, gathered together as one. And now let's gather in our garden. At the entrance, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead, and choose the colors that you like. And as we walk through, let the roses gently caress your face as we breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading, colorful roses percolating through the air. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. And hear the crunch of our steps on the stones. Along an embankment, at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers. Flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of red and yellow, pink, white, all sorts of colors. And as we create these rows, we include our favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. And on the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. And as we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear and melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune accompanied by the sound of harps, divas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. In the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. DK does tell us that the eucalyptus trees are the highest and most evolved in the vegetable kingdom. So it's very fitting that they are in our garden. These healing trees cast their protective shadows on the grass, and sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear waters. And flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily, and across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, but all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, A hidden path leads us to a cozy and serene corner. A few chairs or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties and words of wisdom. And if you'd like to bring in people that you'd love to share healing with us, bring them into this little corner. And inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing the air, as everything in this garden quivers with livingness. In the distance we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow it, and we come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in a blue pool, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. And in our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, reds and creams and yellows and pinks of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle, living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. Buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating, bright golden pixie dust. And nearby, the soft and gentle babble of the fountains reach our ears. Lush green grass lines a gentle stream like a soft velvety carpet. Feel the coolness of the grass. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the streams in this tranquil garden, quivering with life. This garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner that has our individual touch. Add the colors, the unique features, and the flora of your own country that you'd like to blossom in this serene space. And now let's invite the presence and the cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. Let's invite Diva H in particular, assigned to our group, with its group of multicolored healing devas. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. Sitting quiescent, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healing mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. Recall any name of those that you'd like to invite for healing. And now we open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We are now ready and receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter intensifying gradually. And soon this light begins to take shape, and a definite figure appears. And in our creative imagination, it is that of Master DK's. So from the top of the lighthouse, visualize warm, calm waves of golden light poured by DK, streaming through our harmonious group, irradiating our garden around us and imbuing us with aspiration and ardent one-pointed desire to serve for the good of the whole. And see and feel the intuitive arrow of light of Sagittarius pierce the space and our group heart. Sagittarius is the sign of the one-pointed disciple. The life of fluid response to matter becomes that of the focused response to spirit and preparation for initiation in Capricorn. And the arrow of the mind is projected unerringly towards the goal. The unfolding of human consciousness let loose in Sagittarius is intuition, governing aspiration, and soul consciousness in early stages. The key word is I vision. Kama manas, or desire mind, controls and influences the life. In the early stages of unfoldment, its focus is upon desire and the satisfaction of that desire. But in the later stages of purely personality development, the focus is upon the control of desire by the mind, the intelligent use of all powers to bring about adequate satisfaction of desire or ambition to achieve some goal or attain some objective. Later, upon the reversed wheel, the goal is the expression of love wisdom. And this is ever selflessly developed and always consecrated to the good of the whole, and not to the satisfaction of the individual. Sagittarius gradually piercing the heart with his arrows, and then upon the flight of the arrow, the man reaches Capricorn. Let's ponder on an ancient catechism which all disciples have to master. Where is the animal Olanu? And where is the man? Fused into one O Master of my life. The two are one, but both have disappeared, and naught remains but the deep fire of my desire. Where is the horse, the white horse of the soul? Where is the rider of that horse, O Lanu? Gone towards the gate, O Master of my life. Something speeds ahead between the pillars of an open door, something that I myself have loosed. And what remains of thee, O wise Lanu? Now that the horses of two kinds have left thee, and the rider, unattached, stands free. Now what remains? Naught but my bow and arrow, O Master of my life. But they suffice, and when the right time comes, I, thy Lanu, will follow fast upon the shaft I sent. The horses I will leave upon this side of the door. For them I have no further need. I enter free, regain the arrow which I sent, and speed upon my way, passing from door to door. And each time the arrow speeds ahead. The Catechism summarizes the 5 keynotes of Sagittarius. The first one, attached or fused duality, as symbolized by the centaur. Then the unattached duality, symbolized by the archer. And freedom or one-pointedness, symbolized by the bow and arrow. The second keynote, the human ambition leading eventually to spiritual aspiration. The third, a clear shaft of light, which is the intuitive and focused attitude of the pledged disciple. And fourth, the returning arrow of the intuition, for it is the shaft of the arrow of aspiration which returns to the sender as the arrow of the intuition. And finally, the fifth keynote, idealism, which is the power to see the vision, and importantly, to direct one's course towards it. This is the work of Mars, the expression of the sixth ray. In Sagittarius, the disciple achieves the determination, powered by Mars, to direct his steps into another way of life, and with ardor firm to mount another cross, as the old commentary puts it. The theme of Sagittarius is that of direction. The archer is guiding his horse towards some one specific objective. He is sending or directing his arrow towards a desired point. He is aiming at some specific goal. And this sense of direction or guidance is characteristic of the enlightened man, of the aspirant and disciple. And when this faculty of sensitive direction is rightly developed, it becomes in the early stages an effort to identify all soul and personality activity with God's plan. And this is, in the last analysis, the ordered direction of God's thought. There is no true direction apart from thought. And decay reminds us that thought is power. And this is a statement upon which all disciples should ponder, for they can achieve no real comprehension of the direction of God's plan unless they work with a phase in their own lives which is subject to their own mental direction. Sagittarius marks another point of balance which follows after the testing in Scorpio. For the archer has to acquire and hold a steady eye, hand and stance prior to firing the arrow, which, when rightly directed and correctly followed, will carry him through the portal of initiation in Capricorn. So let's pause here. Our bodies still, united in heart and mind, and our inner eyes fixed on the goal, the expression of love wisdom. Like the archer, let's stand within, still, poised and focused, with a steady eye and hand, while directing the thought, I see the goal. I reach that goal. And then I see another. So let's fire our arrow of love and light into our garden, irradiating it with Jupiter's ray energy of love, animated by the consecrated thought of service. And let's direct our own of love in our garden like a fiery arrow of love. In Sagittarius, the intellect, developed, used, and finally illumined, becomes sensitive to a still higher type of mental experience, intuitive perception. There comes flashes of light upon problems. A distant yet possible vision of attainment is seen. The man begins to climb out of the depths to which he has descended in Scorpio and sees ahead of him the mountain in Capricorn, which he knows he must eventually climb. He walks no longer in the dark, but he sees what he has to do. He flies from point to point, searching for the arrows which he has discharged. He has, figuratively speaking, to dismount constantly from his white horse, the developed and purified personality, and find where the arrows of intuitional aspiration will take him. He travels upon the wings of the soul and becomes in his own personality himself the winged god, Mercury, who governs Gemini, the polar opposite of Sagittarius. This he does until he has established a balanced relationship between the personality and the soul, and can function as either at any desired moment with equal facility. And this takes place upon the path of discipleship and is called the experience of the disciple upon the plains of earth. For the path between the pairs of opposites runs straight and level, leaving the depth of personality experience and the heights of soul experience at this point of development on either side. The second ray influences and potencies are abidingly present and pour into our planetary sphere and life via the Sun and Jupiter. These sweep the forces of Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aquarius, and Virgo into and through our entire planet and all its kingdoms in nature. And our planetary Logos, as Sagittarius soul ruler, provides a sphere of experience to the sons of mind, the divine Manasaputras, the Agnishvatas, the solar angels, who are ourselves, to live within his body, to develop the intellect, to control desire, and to transform it into intuitive perception, thus achieving their goal through the light of the mind and through the method of conflict. So let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group, strong, detached, in the middle of our garden. As we link with Master DK at the summit, glowing as a focal point of harmony, directing the arrow of the light of Buddha in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every molecule of water and air of our garden. And now that we have imbued our garden with the Sagittarian qualities of one-pointedness, mental power, intuitive perception, and vision of a higher goal under the wise direction of Master DK, let's distribute as the one soul these energies freely and selflessly to humanity. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love or will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the embodiment of will and power, the spirit of peace, the embodiment of cosmic love, and the Lord Buddha, the embodiment of cosmic light, powering the Christ at the center. And let's superimpose this radiating triangle of will on another triangle, this time the triangle of love, consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our humble soul group. See these two triangles fusing under Jupiterian impress, the planet of fusion. To become one radiant and powerful triangle. And now let's superimpose this triangle of the power of love on the etheric plane, on our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major triangle. See this triangle transmuting the substance of the etheric plane, making it intelligent, loving substance by seeing clearly myriads of triangles of light, love, and power flooding the etheric plane. That's where the magic of the soul occurs, takes place, on the etheric plane. See the energy of love and life from Jupiter and our logos flowing freely into that plane like a river of light and love and life. And now let's direct that dispelling radiance via our group third eye, our group ajna, right eye, left eye, impressing it upon the 3 planetary glands on Earth, London, Geneva, and New York. See from these 3 cities arrows of aspiration and fiery love darting in from these cities into the neighboring countries. Until the whole earth is covered with arrows of fiery love. Let your imagination soar. Bringing peace, love, and goodwill to humanity. Let us sound now one Om, carrying Syrian fiery love, and feel and see that arrow of love being carried on the vibration of the Om into the hearts of our fellow men. And let us say the healer's mantra now together as one, saying it deliberately, slowly, but with joyful confidence. May the love of the one soul focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may they travel upon the wings of the soul and become in their own personalities the winged God. Now, just like Christ does daily, standing under his pine tree in his garden at sunset, with his hands uplifted in blessing over all those who truly and earnestly seek to aspire, let's picture a great pine tree in our garden, and let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram under this pine tree, saying the great invocations together as one group. Would anyone like to volunteer to say the first and the second invocation, please?
I can do the second, Nicole.
I will do the first.
Thank you, Fossa. Okay, go, Ellen.
Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of good will everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part.
Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming, save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service, of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to care for the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end.
Let's work with the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
Thank you, Michael. And now let's raise our clasped hands above the head and say, so let it be. And help us to do our part. Then bring your hands to the forehead as you bring the energies down, and then let them rest gently on your heart. And may these energies radiate out into your environment powerfully and touch the heart of all those you interact with and come into contact during the rest of the day. And may the blessings of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. And may the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world. And may our garden be a place of illumined vision, aspiration, and one-pointedness, thus bringing healing and wholeness to many.